Hello again from Kampala in Uganda. My name is Becky and I'm a missionary here in this wonderful country with my husband Dave. And this week I'm here to share some more thoughts from the Bible with you. Now, I've been reading through the book of Mark in the Bible recently, and a verse in chapter 12 of that book really spoke to me as I was reading through it this time. And it is one of those verses that is incredibly familiar. It's echoed throughout Scripture in both the Old and the New Testaments. See, Jesus was busy debating with the Pharisees and the Sadducees on various topics, and a man had been listening to all of Jesus's answers. He was impressed with the words that Jesus was saying, and he decided, I'm going to ask a question of my own. Why not? What is the most important commandment? This man, a teacher of the law, asked to Jesus. And this is Jesus's reply. It's found in Mark chapter 12, verses 29 to 32. The most important one, answered Jesus, is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this. Love your neighbour as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Now, there are three types of love that Jesus mentions here in this one verse. Love for God, love for ourselves, and love for other people. And we're going to dig into all three of those areas this week. It's a little bit of a mini series, but today we consider the very greatest commandment, to love God. So along with reading Mark, I've also been reading some Old Testament passages such as Leviticus and Deuteronomy, books that are absolutely packed full of laws and regulations for the Israelite people. And yet in all of those pages and pages of commands, the one that is the most important, the one that absolutely cannot be ignored or forgotten, is to love God with all of your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. And yes, it's a well-known verse. We all know that it's important to love God, absolutely. And that's kind of what I thought when I halted at this verse that I've read so many times in my life. But then I started to think about what that love actually means and what it demands from us. See, what a challenge it is to love God with absolutely everything that is within us, with our hearts, with our emotions, those fuzzy feelings of love that we get sometimes, to love with our souls, a love that burns brightly regardless of what we might be facing in our lives, regardless of what we might be feeling on a particular day, regardless of a world that might tell us that loving him is foolish. But the love doesn't stop there. It's not something that we have in our hearts and that's it. We are also instructed to love God with our minds, with our intelligence, with our logic, our reasoning, our understanding. Both head and heart are a part of this commitment. And then there's our strength. We love him by offering him all that we can achieve with the strength of our bodies, with our endurance, with our skills, our talents, all of those gifts that we've been given, all those things that we have the capacity to do. This love for God is not just a word that we speak. It is absolutely all-consuming. It filters into every part of our being. There is no part of us that should not be involved in this process of loving God. And Jesus, well, he modeled this very kind of love for us. With a heart that was breaking, he faced separation from God the Father as he took the punishment for all of our wrongdoing. With a mind that was fully aware of what was going on and what this was going to cost him, he spoke those words, "Your will be done." With the strength of his body broken, he went to the cross so that we could be saved. He loved us. He loves us still with an all-consuming love, sacrificing every part of him. So not so that we could keep some kind of a list of laws and regulations, but so that we could love him and know the joy and the fulfillment of relationship with him. As 1 John chapter 4 verse 19 says, we love because he first loved us. And in the midst of that perfect love, fear is cast out. In the midst of that perfect love, we find total acceptance. In the midst of that perfect reciprocal love, we experience life as it was meant to be. So I challenge you to ask yourself today, is there any part of me that I am keeping from fully engaging in my love for God? Is my heart so scared of being hurt that I keep just a little bit of it from fully committing, just in case I'm let down again? Is my mind full of doubt that I just can't conquer right now? Is the result of the strength of my arms and my legs, is the profit and the productivity of those things, is it for me or is it for God? Am I working for myself or am I working for him? Love God. It is the greatest commandment. And how incredible it is that of all the things God could rightfully demand of us, the one thing that he asks for is something as amazing as love. There is nothing like this relationship with God, knowing that he loved me and loving him in return. And I just so encourage you to meditate and to dwell on that this week. What does it really mean for you in your life this week to love God? Thank you so much again for listening. We'll continue with this little mini series on Wednesday as we look at what it means to have love for ourselves. So I'll see you then. Until then, take care and have a great day.